In 2011, in a South African cave, archaeologists dug up a mattress. It was 77,000 years old, and someone had deliberately covered it in poisonous leaves. The place is called Sibudu Cave, a rock shelter above a river in what is now KwaZulu-Natal. In 2011, an archaeologist named Lynn Wadley published what her team found there in the journal Science. Buried in the floor were layers of ancient plant bedding, compressed mats of sedges and rushes gathered from the river below. The oldest layer was 77,000 years old. That is roughly 50,000 years older than any bedding ever found before. But the grass was the boring part. Here is the detail that stopped the researchers cold. Laid on top of the bedding was a thin layer of leaves from one specific tree, Cryptocarya woody, the Cape laurel. Of all the plants around that cave, they chose this one, and this one is special. Its leaves are packed with chemicals that kill and repel insects, including the mosquitoes that carry malaria. These people were putting a natural insecticide in their bed 77,000 years ago. Which brings us back to you, and to the thing you were lying on this morning. Right now, something is holding up your body. A mattress, a pillow, a blanket you kicked half off last night. You are, statistically, reading this from a bed or about to fall into one. You spend a third of your entire life in it. 25 years lying down, unconscious, completely defenseless, and you never once ask the obvious question. For almost all of human history, lying down at night was the single most dangerous thing you could do. No walls, no door, no fire that lasts till morning. Just a soft, warm, sleeping animal on the open ground. So the first bed was never about comfort. It was a survival machine, and those leaves are the proof. Think about what that means. Someone had to notice this leaf keeps the biting things away. Remember it, walk past a dozen other plants to find it, and teach the trick to the next generation. That is not instinct. That is knowledge. Passed down, like a recipe. And they did something else that surprised everyone. Under a microscope, the top of the bedding was scorched. They were periodically burning the old bedding, torching it to ash and laying down fresh. The likely reason, to clean out pests and rot. A prehistoric mattress change, done with fire, tens of thousands of years before the pyramids. Simple people. We were told. But this is planning, chemistry, and hygiene, all in one bed. But a warm bed on the ground still leaves one problem unsolved. While you sleep, you are blind, deaf, and helpless for hours. So, how did anyone survive the night at all? The answer was fire, and each other. A campfire does three things at once. It warms the sleepers, it keeps predators back, and its smoke drives off insects. In 2017, anthropologist David Sampson studied the Hadza, modern hunter-gatherers in Tanzania, watching how a group actually sleeps through the night. He found something remarkable. Across the night, there was almost always someone awake. Not on guard duty. Just naturally, for a few minutes, at different times. Older people woke early. Younger people slept late. And the overlaps meant the group was never fully unconscious at once. Scientists call it the sentinel hypothesis. A sleeping group protected itself, automatically, just by being different ages. The bed and the fire together turned a defenseless night into a shared shield. And once the night was safe, something new could happen. People could sleep deeply. And deep sleep changes everything. Cold ground pulls heat from a body all night. Hard ground bruises. Damp soil breeds infection. An animal that sleeps badly, hunts badly, and dies younger. A raised, dry, soft, insect-free bed is not a luxury. It is a machine for better sleep, and better sleep may be a quiet engine behind the human mind. Because sleep is not downtime. It is when the brain files away everything it learned that day. No safe bed, no deep sleep. No deep sleep. Less of the mind that makes us us. Safe sleep gave our ancestors something else too, dreams. Some scientists argue that dreaming is how the brain rehearses danger and stores memory, running the day again while the body lies still and protected. And here is something strange about how our ancestors slept. They may not have slept the way you do at all. Historian Roger E. Kirch found records of what he called first sleep and second sleep. People slept in 2 blocks, with an hour or two awake in the middle of the night. In that quiet gap, they would tend the fire, talk softly, make love, pray, or simply lie in the dark, half dreaming. The single long night of sleep you take for granted may be a modern invention, born from clocks, work shifts, and electric light. For most of history, the night was not a wall of unconsciousness. It was a soft country you passed through, with a clearing in the middle. And the bed made all of it possible. Not just rest, dreaming, memory, intimacy, and the slow, nightly repair of the mind. The bed did not just rest us, in a quiet way, it helped grow us. But once we were safe and rested, the bed started to mean something none of the animals ever needed it to mean. The moment humans could build and store more than they needed, the bed climbed off the floor. In ancient Egypt, the wealthy slept on raised wooden frames, up off the cold ground, away from scorpions and snakes. The poor still slept on mats. The height of your bed became the height of your status. The Egyptians even invented something you might recognize, a headrest, a curved wooden stand for the neck. It sounds like torture, but in a hot climate, it kept the head cool and the elaborate hairstyle intact. Jump forward and the bed keeps swelling with meaning. Medieval kings received guests while sitting up in enormous, curtained beds. The bedroom was a throne room where, and how you slept announced exactly who you were. A bed became a dowry, an heirloom, the most valuable object a family owned, passed down for generations. But strip all of it away, the frames, the curtains, the memory foam, and every single one is still doing the exact same job. Keep the sleeper warm, dry, safe, and free of things that bite. The same job as that scorched layer of leaves in Sibudu Cave. And the ancient bed left fingerprints on your body that you can feel tonight. Ever notice you sleep terribly the first night in a new place? Scientists call it the first night effect. Half your brain stays lighter, more alert, monitoring the unfamiliar dark. A survival reflex, from when a new sleeping spot might be your last. Ever feel safest sleeping in a cool room, under a heavy blanket, tucked into a corner with your back to the wall? That is not a preference. That is a body still running the old program. Cool like a cave. Weighted like pressure means safety. Walls at your back, where nothing can reach you. Even the way a child cannot sleep without being tucked in tight is an echo, a small body asking for the safety of the old, close sleeping group. The people of Sibudu never knew they were inventing any of this. They wanted one thing you still want right now, to lie down, close their eyes, and not be afraid. So step back and look at the whole shape of it. The first bed was not soft. It was smart. A layer of river grass, a sheet of insect-killing leaves, and a fire to burn it clean. Engineered by people we were taught to imagine as simple and brutish 77,000 years ago. They gave their children safe sleep. Safe sleep gave those children sharper minds, deeper memory, and the long protected nights where a group becomes a family. Every ordinary part of your life has an ancient beginning. Even the mattress you will forget you are lying on the moment you close your eyes tonight. 77,000 years ago, someone lay down on leaves they chose on purpose. So the biting things would leave their family alone. And in the dark, warm and unafraid, they did the most human thing there is. They slept. If stories like this are your kind of thing, the next one is already waiting. Pull up a seat by the fire. We will see you next week.